I guess we could do this. Just wasn't sure about it because I know it's clickbait. But it may still be interesting. So this is DJ Pain stating Bolo the producer made a big mistake. Now, when you see this title, you're like, whoa, he made a really big mistake. No, he didn't.
So Bolo the producer,
not in the way you're thinking. Not in the way you're thinking he did. I already peeped the like ratio. It's okay. You saw this too. Is it bad? Good or bad? Let me know. We're gonna watch it.
producer really fucked up. And the mistake he made is a mistake that I see producers making all the time, to the point where producers are actually encouraging other producers to make this same mistake as though it's some kind of shortcut to success in the music business. I don't know if you saw, Bolo made a new YouTube channel. And I really want to talk about this because this mistake that he made hits close to home. It's a mistake that I was making for years. Matter of fact, he talked about 3 major mistakes he made. All 3 mistakes are great conversation starters. I
don't usually like doing reaction to reactions, but there might be a lot to talk about here. So let's check it out.
Go through all 3 of them. It's a short video, but the one that really hit me was number 3.
My first mistake that I made starting out in music.
Okay, DJ Pain. What the fuck? Why is the audio like a fucking full second off here?
Is I did not learn the business of music. When I first started out, all I was trying to do is make beats and make music, and I wasn't really trying to worry about things, and I missed out on.
But you got to get this figured out. You are an audio guy and a YouTube creator. Like, this should not be an issue. Like, this should be something like you notice and then fix immediately. This is not something that should be happening
On a lot of good situations, because
I mean, even if you like record it like this, you could totally fucking fix it in post. I've done it before.
I did not learn the business of music.
I think this is tough because the majority of us didn't know anything.
That's
about
real.
the music
That's
business
real,
when
though.
we started on our journeys. I can't think of a single producer who knew what the business actually entailed when they started making beats. I had to learn on my feet. I think the majority of us learn on our feet, and it's the best way to learn. If you're just starting out making beats, you could watch a million Bolo videos, a million DJ Pain One videos where we're talking about split sheets. But when it comes to,
I don't know if Bolo has that many videos about that. I think realistically, you should probably watch DJ Pain for that.
time for you to actually sign an agreement, that's when it becomes real. You're so caught up in everything coming at you at once that you might neglect some of that information that we're telling you because it's not important to you. It's abstract. It's not real until it's in front of you and you're suffering the consequences or enjoying the success, or a combination of both, of understanding, a split sheet, for example, or understanding a pre-sample clearance split versus an after sample clearance split. Then you really won't understand what this stuff even means and how it affects you as a producer. So you're gonna make mistakes in this journey. You want to minimize the amount of mistakes you make, but at very least, when you make a mistake, learn from it. And I will say, a lot of producers are so terrified of making mistakes, they're so hyper focused on learning the music business, that they actually end up paralyzed. What is people call it? Analysis paralysis, something like that, right? Where
decision paralysis.
So focused on knowing everything, on everything being perfect, that you just neglect making music. And that's the whole point. So I don't think what Bolo is saying is know everything about the music business before getting into the music business, but just know you're going to make mistakes. Keep your eyes open.
Making music is one thing, but learning the business of music is something totally.
Bro, what is going on with this like camera movement here? It's just like moving on its own constantly. It's very fucking annoying.
Different.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of talented people out here. Like it's a ton of talented people out here that are really dope that do not know the business of music. And that's why you see a lot of people who are super talented never make it, because they do not know the business.
Yeah, and I mean, I think what happens is a lot of people who don't learn the business, they end up getting disgruntled. They end up not making enough money for it to be sustainable, and then they lose the spark. They lose interest because it just doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. Honestly, and I said this the other day, the most successful producers aren't the most talented producers. The most successful producers are the most talented producers of the hardest working producers. In other words, if you're a talented producer, you're in this space over here. But if you're a hard working producer and you have talent, that's the combination that's going to get you success. It's way more sustainable.
True.
A lot of producers just don't even, I read the comments. People don't know what the hell's going on in the music business, and they don't seem to be.
But we all know you read the comments, man. I've seen you post a lot of those comments. I've seen you get mad about them. I've seen you vent about them. I've seen them all. I've seen your comment section more than I ever should have, and I don't really like watch videos that much.
Trying. So it's not just knowing.
The joke is that he like constantly posts like comments that he gets on like Twitter or his YouTube community posts. If you comment something on his channel, there's a good chance it's going to end up somewhere.
Music business from a book. It's about work ethic, really applying yourself, not just making beats and expecting money to fall from the sky. You got to make beats and figure out how to systematize selling beats online. You got to systematize your business. You're running a small business. You have to figure out your strategy, your branding strategy, your social media strategy, or at very least, you have to start networking.
Bolo, a dead ringer for Thanos. What that mean? What that even mean, dude?
Music business with artists, building a relationship with artists, developing an artist if you're going to go that route. I mean, producers, we see these artists all the time going on the internet and just bitching and complaining and whining about how hard it, like, we got to pay for beats, we got to pay for promo, we got to do this and that. Yeah, it's a business. You have to invest. So this can apply to producers too. You know, the artist that's complaining about how hard it is for them just because they have to pay $24.99 for a beat lease. A lot of producers are complaining that they have to travel to get into the studio with an artist, or that they have to buy equipment, or that they have to invest in advertising on YouTube to get their beat channel promoted, or that they have to pay for a BeatStars account. If you
I don't even think that's a fucking good thing to do. I don't even think that's like a winning move.
want to get into music. But if you wanted to get into the music business, then you have to enjoy and understand and embrace the business part of this.
It took me some time, but once I messed up a few times,
See?
I kind of learned every time.
That's what I'm saying. He messed up. He made mistakes and learned. So I think this is just what the majority of us go through. Don't be scared to make mistakes. It's going to suck.
I'm glad I'm in a space right now because people can't really get over me like that, because I know the business of music,
There
and
you
I
go.
can pretty much like sniff out anything that just ain't right.
So right before I recorded this video, I went on Discord and dropped another collab idea. Shout out to everyone that joined the Discord.
Bro. Hey, wait, is that Aton? Is that our Aton? Bro, I really want to join this Discord with some insane name like Cuckmaster or something, or what's a really insane name, guys? What's even more insane names? Give me some insane names right now. Like Jizzboy. Jizzboy 420 69.
Join the Patreon. I drop at least 2 collab ideas every single week. Plus, you get a free copy of my latest sample pack, and you get a free copy if you sign up for either of the 2 higher tiers. A free copy of every drum kit, sample pack, any sort of pack that I drop solo for as long as
BWB, that's a pretty crazy name, dude. Whoa, slow down there. Jizzy Works
another
Beats.
video about why it's a mistake for producers not to join the Patreon.
I wonder what would happen if you put your name as that on his Patreon. Like, what would he refund you the money? Like, how's that going to work?
But that's the number one thing. I should
Like, is he going to say no? Is he just going to throw it in there?
have learned the business of music. Even with my first big record, I didn't know the business of music, and I lost out pretty big on that record. I kind of look at it in a different sense, because if I did know what I know now, and I did get the money and stuff that I could have had back then while I was young, it might be a different Bolo right now. It was a big learning experience, but over the years I've learned a lot about the music business, and now things are much smoother. So when I do certain situations, or whether I don't do certain situations, it's because I have a better understanding of the music business. The second biggest mistake that I made was not having an attorney
Wait a minute.
when I need it. And I mean a good attorney.
Okay.
I'm not just saying any type of attorney. You need a good music or an entertainment lawyer
I'm trying to hold my tongue. I have so much to say about this. Let me try it.
that can get your
What about top music attorney? Is that a good one?
contracts done. And you need a good entertainment lawyer just in case if anything happens. So say, for instance, if you make a song and somebody runs off with your song, and the song ends up blowing up and getting big, and you had a part in the making of that, you need an attorney to fight for you to get your just due. And over the years, I kept blowing it off in the beginning like, nah, I don't really need no attorney. I can just read a book and it'll.
Nowadays, there's producer royalty. There's Adam Friedman.
Just read a book. I don't need an attorney. I'm just going to read a book.
There's Carl Folks. There's the Latte Lawyer. There are all these
Yeah, I mean, that's all it takes to just like, you could be your own lawyer. You just got to read a book.
entertainment lawyers that are online and they're making themselves available. You can email them, you can DM them. It's great. So Bolo's saying a lot. And one of the things he's saying is, I'm not saying hire an attorney. I'm just saying be aware of what attorneys are available. So when I got my first big placement and they sent the paperwork over, I didn't know what the hell it said. I thought I was smart. Oh, I'm in graduate school.
Hire an attorney or read a pamphlet.
English master's program. I can read. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I needed an attorney right away. And I hadn't networked with any. I talked to some rapper friends of mine and they were using an attorney in New York and they're like, oh, he's an industry guy. Bolo said, find an attorney that knows how to execute a contract for a producer. How the hell are we supposed to know which attorney knows how to?
Yeah, let me just look up a YouTube tutorial on how to lawyer. How to be lawyer. How to be big time lawyer.
properly execute a production agreement if we've never dealt with a production agreement.
I almost want to like check to see what comes up when you type that in.
So I didn't know. I was just like, oh, cool. Here's this high power attorney who works with the record labels and major artists. He's represented major artists. So I contact him. He charges me a few $100s, like 20% of what I was making off my first placement. I had to pay this guy. He kind of didn't do shit. I don't want to get too far into it because the guy he passed away, but my experience was negative.
Oh my God, dude. Jesus, dude. He was a piece of shit. I don't want to get into it too much because he's fucking dead.
Reed morally was sampling for whatever reason, even though the label was clearing the sample. He didn't explain that once the sample was cleared, I was going to lose all of my underlying composition equity. So no publishing, no mechanical royalties for me, no writer's share, none of that. The advance was $4,000. I should have gotten at least twice that, but he didn't even redline the agreement. He didn't even try. And I didn't know. Look, I had no idea what was going on. So I didn't tell him to fight for me on certain points. I should have gotten a point bump. I should have gotten more points to begin with, but none of that was in the contract. So now years later, I look back on that contract and I say, all right, hey, it was my first placement ever. I have no regrets. I had to learn, but he wasn't a lawyer that was advocating for producers. But how was I supposed to know that? So this goes back to the first mistake. Like I said, if you don't know the business, once you get in the business and business
Yeah, man, it's not all going to be perfect. I don't know. You got to learn. He's got to learn. Well, I mean, if he learned.
comes your way, you're going to learn
He didn't. I don't think he learned. He died.
fast. You have to, otherwise you're not going to survive.
I can do everything on my own, but those contracts are very, very like intricate. They're full of a lot of things. And if you don't know what to look for, you'll be toast.
Don't let that scare you. I remember I interviewed a producer who had a family member review a contract for a song that was a hit single, and it was a beat buyout. So he didn't get shit. He got like $1,000 or something, and this song went on to be a smash, probably made a couple $1 million, and he didn't get
Jesus,
so when something
dude.
like that comes along, get a lawyer. And the people on the other side of the deal are going to rush you. They're going to say, you need to sign this by tomorrow. They're lying to you. They're trying to get you to sign a bad deal. So if you're at a point in your music production career where you're sending a bunch of beats out, or you're sending a lot of loops out, you're working with people, your music's getting out there, just
If you go on ASCAP, Timbaland has 200 songs with publishing. Well, then why is he fucking scamming people all the time? Why is he a scammer? Not even allegedly. Like, why is he a scammer? Why is he not paying his employees on fucking Beat Club? What is he doing?
start networking with these lawyers that specialize specifically in producer agreements. I named a few already. I've interviewed some on my channel. They're probably going to just charge you a flat fee for that, and it's reasonable. A lot of producers don't want to pay that $400, $500, $600, $700, however much it costs, and then they end up missing out on six figures.
But you want to find really high-end music attorneys to look over your stuff and to make sure that you're getting your just due.
You know, I think my mistake
Why is this footage so fried looking?
with my lawyer was that he was too high end, and maybe it was a conflict of interest because
Did DJ Payne do that to make himself look better? He had to have. There was no other explanation. I can't think of a single other explanation.
he had represented clients who were signed to the labels, and here I was trying to get
I mean, if he wants to do that, he's got to put a little more lighting on himself. It's a little, not enough. He needs a little more.
money from the label whose project was being released through an artist who was signed to the same label as artists that attorney had represented. So be careful with that stuff.
Number 3, this is probably one of the biggest mistakes ever,
telling you.
is relying on people to do things for you that needs to be done. What I was doing was I was relying on people to take care of my business, and I was relying on people to take care of stuff that my lawyer should have took care of, and I was relying on people to basically run my operations. But we all know nothing's going to run right the way you can run it. So I was putting a lot of trust and a lot of faith
Depends.
in people to do things that they just were not qualified or equipped to do.
And I want to go deep into this topic because it's not just producers, artists, whoever, they start making music, and next thing you know, because artists have this disease. We have this disease in our heads where we just want to make our art. We don't want to deal with the business. We're looking for someone else to do all of the hard work for us. I need someone else to manage my social media. I need someone else to handle my business. I need someone else to handle my booking. I need someone else to handle this. When we're just starting out, we don't need any of that because our taxes aren't that complicated. Our booking inquiries are few and far between. Our social media management should be authentically coming from us. But I think it feels good to have people representing us. Just like I did. You might find someone coming up to you, some random person saying, hey, I want to manage you. And it feels good. It appeals to our ego because we want to feel like we have someone on our side that's going to advocate for us. But some of these people are terrible people and they will burn bridges on our behalf. And then this goes back to number one. If we have all these other people doing stuff for us, we're never going to learn how this works. And so we're always going to be stuck in the cycle of dependence. We're always going to be dependent on other people. We can't handle shit on our own. We can't even make sure that the people who are handling stuff for us are handling it correctly because we never learned what it was because we always had someone else handling it. Bolo's not even saying this. I'm saying this. Before I got my first major placement, I was in so many groups because I was like, I just make beats. I'm just this socially awkward guy that likes likes to hang out in the studio. I make beats. I'm not the guy that's going to go out and have this big personality. Biggest mistake of my life, because I'm dependent on them. I'm creating a codependent relationship. A lot of us don't even realize we're creating these codependent relationships with our collaborators because we see it as a collaboration. But I'm telling you, every single group that I was in disbanded. And so whatever work I invested in those groups was lost. I learned a lot. I gained a lot of experience, but ultimately the work that I put in directly to those groups was ultimately net zero. Now, the problem with that is I was investing into those groups, not into myself. After I realized that I was always the one that continued making music after the groups fell off, I realized, wait a minute, I need to be investing at least as much into myself as I've been investing into these other people. And that's when I started breaking out of that codependent relationship with artists. Now I'm like, I make my own content. I can go on my own tours. I can do whatever on my own. I can have my own brand. And so now the fact that I have my own brand means that I can approach other artists with their own brands, and a collaboration makes sense. I'm no longer depending on them. I'm coming to the table with something. They're coming to the table with something. We just went from codependency to real collaboration where there's mutual benefit. Now, the way that this really hurts producers is this narrative that you hear all the time. It's in my comments all the time. Don't sell beats. Selling beats is dead. Don't chase placements. Lock in with an artist. How many?
Who the fuck says that? I feel like no one says that. Like, I mean, if they're saying selling beats is dead, like, there's no way they mean it literally. Like, you could sell beats. People have to buy beats. Like, they're not just going to make them themselves. Some people might, but majority of them are not.
People in the comment section say that. Lock in with an artist. Don't put your beats online. They'll get stolen. Don't send your beats out to art.
Don't put your beats online. They'll get stolen. And then what? What are they going to do with them?
Mr. A&Rs. Lock in with an artist. That's where the real money is. Be like Zaytoven and Gucci Mane. And I'm not mocking that philosophy, because absolutely work with artists, develop artists. But if you're not Zaytoven and the rapper's not Gucci Mane, you're never going to be able to replicate those results. They are outliers. They are incredibly successful multi-millionaires who were, before they became incredibly successful multi-millionaires, very high level artists and very high level hustlers.
You're not selling beats on our turf anymore. All right. I'm gonna destroy your NPC. Next, I'm coming for your Ableton Push.
Were really working hard. They were outworking everybody else. People think you can just take producer A and rapper B over here and put them together, and all of a sudden they're a fucking power couple. If they're not outworking everyone else, it doesn't matter. So
hold on a second, dude. You just say power couple?
a lot of that narrative, that
one of them, the power bottom,
whole lock in with artists, that's the best way to become a famous and successful producer, comes from a producer's insecurity. It comes from that codependency. They feel like they can't build their brand on their own. And you can build your brand on your own. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. What I mean is not saying don't work with artists. I'm saying believe in yourself, invest in yourself. Don't put your faith exclusively in other people's commitment to you, because a lot of people aren't even committed to themselves. How many rappers have I worked with that swore up and down this is what they wanted?
What does that even mean? What does committed to yourself even mean?
And then the next month they quit and never rapped again. And I was still there. And so that's...
You mean just committed to yourself, like committed to what you're doing?
When I realized I had to stop depending on these other people in order for me to accomplish my goals. I needed to create my own goals. I needed to be my own person. And once you get to that point where you learn, and this goes back to Bolo's point, the first mistake he made, which was not learning the business, learn the landscape, learn what options are available to you as a producer.
Nah, he doesn't work for BeatStars, but he is like one of BeatStars' top sellers.
You could put instrumentals out on the streaming platform. You can become a DJ and perform your own instrumentals and your own original music. You can become an online beat seller. You can shop beats to artists. You can develop artists. You can start a label. You can be an engineer, or you can be any combination of all of the things I mentioned and even more. You can compose for TV and film. You can get into scoring and sound design, sell loops and drums. There's so much you can do. And the beautiful thing is, if you enjoy doing more than one thing, do more than one thing. I damn sure do more than one thing. I sell beats online. I shop beats to big artists. I do sound design. I sell sample packs and drum kits. I do music education. I run a podcast. I do a lot. Maybe don't be like me because I don't have a social life, but there's a lot that you can do that will enhance your producer career, open up new streams of income, and it's fun. It's stuff that you enjoy doing.
So I was putting my trust
Right, makes him sound like such a tweaker when I have him sped up like this.
in a lot of people, and those same people right now are not even doing music right now. A lot of these people I don't even talk to anymore.
Yep.
And I was trying to put my music career in their hands, which was
That's
the wrong
crazy.
thing to do.
Thank you.
If you're trying to get to a certain artist right now, it's like one of the easiest times to get in touch with certain artists. Now, there's some artists that you just can't get a hold of, but with IG and TikTok and everything with social media, it is very easy to get a hold of a lot of these people. So if you see somebody kind of bubbling, you can actually kind of go to them. If you're trying to meet with a
Really though? I mean, maybe if you have like a large following, like they might open it and they know who you are. But I mean, I just cold DMing random rappers, like huge rappers. I don't know Like, yeah, it's easy to like reach out to them, but like, are you gonna get a response? Are they gonna check it out? Like, I don't know.
Certain person in the industry, there's ways you can meet up with these people.
Because what he's not saying is put all your eggs into one basket. All right, producers, take care of yourselves, believe in yourselves, invest in yourselves, trust in the process, trust that you will learn as you go, trust that you'll learn from your mistakes, trust that you can
Bro, what's your long-term plan? I'm not doing this right now. We're not doing this right now.
try and do multiple things. Don't listen to the dream killers. Much success to you. Peace.
You want me to paint out like a picture for you? Yeah, no, we're not getting into that right now. All right, you know what time it is though, guys? It's time for me to give you my long-term plan.